not come back down into these price levels. This weekly candle is right now bouncing back to the upside. The technical target, $105,000, over $2 million on this trade. Guys, today we need to talk about something that I have just found this morning, and it is a huge warning, and I have to make you aware that you should not be fooled by this specific chart pattern that I have found. If you want to know what I'm talking about, then stick here around and let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in here once again on this Monday. Let's directly jump into the CME chart. You see that for now, everything played out as we were laying it out over the last couple of days, where I said, be careful with that CME gap once we're getting one. So now here is technically a really small one. So a really small one all the way down to $54,000. Could we technically turn around and close this? Yes. So this is now way more likely to happen than the previous situation where it would have gone all the way down here. If, again, by Wednesday, we haven't closed the CME gap, it becomes highly unlikely that we are going to go and close it in the near future, because the overall direction and overall market buying pressure is right now massively to the upside, and you're gonna see this here in a little bit also on altcoins that I just shared yesterday with you. So here I expect for now further continuation, and I believe as soon as we are breaking above on the CME chart above $57,300, forget about that CME gap here. It's anyway a pretty small $500 gap, and it will become highly unlikely that we are filling this anytime soon. So, but again, we have roughly 48 hours where we can technically still come down and fill this, even though it's on the less likely side right now because it's just a small one here. So, and another reason why I don't believe that we are going to close this is the Nikkei is bouncing as expected massively back to the upside. The DXY is bouncing to the upside, but this can still change. Remember, in an hour, the US market is opening. So let's see what's happening here. But for now, you see what I mentioned yesterday, that potentially a double bottom and get a little bit of continuation to the upside. But let's see what's happening in an hour. So when we go now into the Bitcoin chart, and you see here, with this week's candle, we are in oversold territory on a stochastic RSI here on the weekly chart. This weekly candle is right now bouncing back to the upside, and I expect at least a retest of the 22 moving average here on the weekly chart close to the $60,000 mark. So maybe we will even touch the $60,000 mark. I don't want to rule this out for this week. By next week with the rate cut, expect that we are definitely above that moving average. Finally, we were waiting so long for this. So just another week that we get above this. And of course, we're going to stay above that then for the rest of the bull market, in my opinion. So at least above the $60,000 level. And we'll then only see continuation to the upside. So at least for the higher time frames. Now, on the daily chart, what did I tell you yesterday? I told you when we hit the bottom here, the relative volatility index, when we come down here into the 20% level, usually it marks the bottom, and shortly afterwards, we're getting continuation to the upside. And this is exactly what we are seeing here. Yes, what we are seeing playing out here. I told you we will not come back down into these price levels, and $52,000, $52,500 to be exact, would have been also the level here most recently, that we will not come back and from there bounce back to the upside. And this is exactly what we are seeing here. And I'm going to show you here in a moment also some good new entries for long positions on Bitcoin. Also here on this daily chart, you see this nice bounce here out of that green box that we were mentioning here. And now let's actually go here to this daily chart, because I also want to show you here a higher time frame pattern that many of you maybe don't even have on their radar currently. So, and when this is breaking out, guys, it will be fireworks. It will be absolutely insane. So just let me see here. So do you see here this massive cup and handle that we are forming? This is a huge cup and handle pattern currently that here in the works, and we are in the handle. So, and here I just wanted to show you this for a really, really specific reason so that you understand. Because once we are breaking here, that former support level around $60,000. That is right now a key level here on the higher time frames. Once we have reclaimed that, the cup and handle pattern is in progress of playing out. So you don't even need to wait for this downward sloping trend line of that handle to break to enter a trade. You can do this already when we reclaim the $60,000 level. Of course, it's a little bit more on the risky side here, but because it's a super high time frame pattern that is playing out here, I reckon when we're breaking above $60,000 in the wake of that massive pattern, we will not come below $60,000 again and stay above the EMA ribbon also for a really, really, really long and extended period. Look how long we stayed above here, from January until March. So we almost 4 months we stayed longer above this here until June technically. So 6 months of upwards trend on the EMA ribbon. So I expect something similar once we are breaking again above the EMA ribbon and flipping this to the upside in conjunction with breaking $60,000 and this massive cup and handle pattern playing out here. So now when we are looking at the technical target for this massive cup and handle pattern, so you see here is also kind of the neckline for it around the $60,000 level. So here, $105,000. So if you enter at $60,000, we are talking here about an 80% move, I think, to the upside almost, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 75% move to the upside. And this is on Bitcoin. So now imagine you trade this with 10x leverage, only 10x leverage, 750% gain here on this trade, 7.5 times the money that you put on this trade. Imagine you trade this with, let it be $300,000. You make over $2 million on this trade, which is insane. So, but of course, it's not happening tomorrow. It will take potentially until early next year. But if you can become a millionaire, if you have $300,000 in 6 months, I would definitely do that 100%. So this was just something that that caught my eye today while I was preparing content and wanted to show you guys why the $60,000 level is such a crucial level across all time frames right now. Here on the 12-hourly chart, I give you now the next potential trade that you can take. And that is here, this falling wedge pattern that you also saw here on the thumbnail. So why did I say you should not be fooled? Because there is still the possibility that we come up here and get straight rejected one more time. Of course, not to $52,000, most likely to the level where we are currently at, and only from here bouncing then into that green box and then get a breakout. So why did I put the green box here? Because that is the perfect breakout moment for this falling wedge pattern. So somewhere between the 21st and the 5th of October would be the perfect moment to break out here. Bitcoin is of course Bitcoin and can do whatever it wants. So, and I would not be surprised if we would also see something like this here, breaking out, then testing the downward sloping resistance line as support, bounce back into the falling wedge, into the green box, consolidate, and then get the move here for continuation. So these are the two scenarios that I'm looking at. So, but the level currently that I have an eye on to open a new trade is here. Once we're breaking above $56,000, $56,800, that's from where I'm gonna take another short-term Bitcoin trade. Or the other scenario is if we come a little bit lower again, here, $54,000, $53,000 in that range. So these are the two levels from where I'm going to take a long trade. Now you're asking yourself, okay, Alex, but into what target? So let's say I take it all the way from up here. Then again, $65,000 is the target, my first target here. The top of this candle. So that is a 14.5% trade already with a 4.8% stop loss on it. Risk to reward ratio is 3%, is 1 to 3, absolutely fine. That is my next trade. Again, if we come down a little bit lower, I will keep the same trade. Just my my profit will increase by 7% almost, and my risk to reward ratio is also getting lower in terms of risk that I'm taking, and I have a higher profit on this trade. So this is how I'm going to play this. So of course, if we come lower, then I will take my first take profit. Actually, not here. I'm gonna take my first take profit around the $61,000 mark. So here I'm gonna take my first take profits. Oh, sorry, I'm actually at $62,000. I want it all the way up here, so it's even more. So here. So this is how I'm going to play this because I believe when we are breaking out of that falling wedge, regardless if it's too early or in the right moment, first we're going to spike to 61, get a small pullback, and then get continuation. So that's why I want to take a little bit profit here. And when we come back down, I'm going to add to this position back then. I'm going to add back to the position and then trade this with now a bigger position than I had previously into the $65,000 mark. And you can do the same thing if you want to follow that. Also, there will be some changes to my Telegram channel, guys. I only going to tease you a little bit. If you are knowing me for more than 4 years, you know how the Telegram channel looked like when I was in the Telegram channel. I want that these times are coming back. And for that specific reason, I'm gonna make some massive changes to the Telegram channel, and that will also spread across all other channels that I'm on, like Discord. I actually gonna add another platform, plus I will create a new product for you guys all around these platforms and these channels. And like I said, if you know me for more than 3 or 4 years before I actually had the YouTube channel, you know what I'm talking about, how Telegram was looking when I was in there. This is coming back, guys. Give me a little bit of time, but I'm telling you, we're not far away from it, and we'll come back. And everybody that did not know me, you are in for a treat, guys. You're in for a treat. Now let's move on here. A Bitcoin 4-hourly chart liquidation levels. Here's another reason why we technically could revisit the $54,000 mark here, because of the over-leveraged long positions that were taken down here. Again, right now, I don't put a lot of faith in it that we come down here, because we are trying to break into the middle of the EMA ribbon, and we have, of course, all the liquidity sitting here above us, which makes it way more attractive to push prices higher currently than come down and take out these few positions here, and then working all the way back here to the upside. So I believe here in the imminent short term, we could get a retest of the 50 moving average here. On the way up, we are liquidating some levels on the MDX algo, but I'm going to show you on the heat map actually how much liquidity is sitting here. And afterwards, once we have reclaimed the 50 moving average, you're going to see the attack of the 200 moving average around the $59,000 mark. So when we're going now to the liquidation heat map, you understand now why I am saying $56,000 is most likely the next level that we're going to. Look at all this liquidity that's stacked up here, and then also here the concentrated areas here at 58,800, 57,700, 57,400. These are massive areas of interest right now. Push prices higher and squeeze also the price with short squeezes into higher levels, and that's what I'm preparing for, and that's why I'm telling you you should start to get position into trades, hence why I gave you the 2 options with the entries for the next setup here and the next move for Bitcoin here on the shorter time frames. Also here on the 4-hourly chart with the MDX algo scalp gradient, I told you that most likely here this demand block will hold and that we bounce off from this here. Now we are trying to flip the super trend, that red line. Once we break above this, which we are almost above it, so we need another $150 to flip this back into an uptrend. Then you're also going to see here that we are starting to ride this uptrend like we did over here, until of course we are flipping back to the downside. So, but I believe next time, or let's say today, when we are flipping this back into green, it will stay green for a really long time, beyond the $60,000 mark. Now, when we're talking about altcoins, here you see right now something happening that I mentioned, and that is that the dominance is flipping green and most likely is bottoming out here after that small move here to the downside, because this looks now like a bottom formation where we will come back to the upside and start rallying a little bit with the dominance to higher levels here, most likely in direction of 58%, especially when Bitcoin starts short squeezing by today or tomorrow into higher price levels. So be aware of that. But again, if you trade altcoins with dollars, it's fine, because most altcoins will get carried with Bitcoin to the upside. And only if you trade altcoins for Bitcoin, there you're actually gonna get into some trouble in the short term, but otherwise you are fine. The total free market cap also has reclaimed $554 billion, what we were talking about. Now we are trying to get above $564 billion. Once we have reclaimed that red box here, expect that we really fast get a move to the upside into this downward sloping trend line here, and also gonna break above this, which will then finally initiate a massive run in most altcoins. But I can tell you already, from here to here, you're gonna see altcoins do like 20 to 40%, some of them even 80%. So be aware of that, because something else that I saw here is that we are forming here also a massive W pattern. So once we are breaking here the downward sloping trend line, we should get a pump in the total free to like $700 billion roughly. So good times are ahead of us right now, and I think the worst is over. And for that specific reason, guys, you're gonna understand why I was basically begging you yesterday to go to Bybit and claim your free $500 airdrop position. All altcoins that I have shown you yesterday started pumping overnight. So guys, again, if you don't have a lot of money, but you have $100 that you can only deposit for like a couple of minutes, you know, so sign up on Bybit, deposit the $100, go and claim in the reward center your free $500 airdrop position on any of these coins, and then withdraw the $100 again, you know, so, and then trade with the $500. I have shown you yesterday, I cannot remember what coin it was, but there was a setup, I think it was Phantom. Yes, Phantom. On Phantom, if you would enter even right now, you can make with this $500 position $16,000, guys. This is insane, you know. So, and this is even for free. You don't even have to put your own money at risk for that. So go and use the link in the description below, guys, and take advantage of that while you can still do this, because in less than 10 days, Bybit is ending this promotion here. So I talked to Bybit, and I'm right now begging them to extend it for you, but they're not sure yet. They want to see how things are looking when this is over. But I'm trying to convince them for you guys to extend it. But don't bank on it. So take advantage of it right now while you still can, because I don't know what they are doing with it. If they extend, if they're not extend, and use the link in the description below. When we're looking at altcoins, here, for example, Ethereum, what did I tell you? I told you buy as much as you can in that green box, because Ethereum will soon get out of it and will start to break this downward sloping trend line, which will lead to a move into the $3,000 range. Now you see the indicators are also in alignment for that. The stochastic is pointing to the upside. The RSI is slightly going to the upside. So why is the RSI not spiking to the upside? Because of the volume traded areas here on the VPVR that are giving us currently resistance and preventing us to getting here also a nice juicy pump to the upside. So, and of course also the downwards pressure from this downward sloping trend line also pushing on Ethereum a little bit to the downside. But once this line is broken here, expect that you're going to see a nice juicy pop to the upside. With Solana, similar thing, if everything is loading. So we are still in that green area, but remember I told you, good moment to enter is when we are breaking this downward sloping trend line. So we are kind of going sideways here, at least on the 4-hourly time frame. On the daily time frame, we just technically broke this downward sloping trend line. And here you see we are about to get a buy signal on the MACD. RSI is going sideways because also here we are running a little bit into resistance here of $131, but also the stochastic is pointing to the upside. So here also continuation is programmed over the next couple of days, guys. And also don't forget, breakpoint is coming with token 2049 next week. And I will be present there. And every time when Solana has a breakpoint conference, Solana is rallying like crazy. So expect that we are moving at least to $154. And if you would be taking a trade, let's say you would take a trade right now. Let's take a trade right now. So you would be also making here 21% to the upside without leverage. So now let's say you leverage with 10x, 200% on that trade setup with a really solid stop loss here at $123 approximately, or 4%. So again, this is most likely going to play out. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna also start again to document all these trades in the Excel spreadsheet that I have, which I did not do for like 2 months or something. So I'm gonna keep doing this also again, but let me put this a little bit higher. So once we're breaking above $131 with a 4-hourly candle close, that's where I would enter this. And then I also gonna put this trade on the spreadsheet. So now, coins that I mentioned yesterday, Rune, breaking downward sloping trend, good moment to enter right now, at least into $4.50. I expect this to move even higher because here's also a W pattern forming. Look here, so the right side is missing. So only to get to the neckline is $4.50. So this is already like a 20% move almost to the upside. Plus that you have the technical target of the W pattern, if we break $4.50, of $6. So that is almost a 100% move here to the upside. It's like a 70% move to the upside roughly. So pay attention to that. Right now is a good moment to enter this here on higher time frames with not crazy leverage, guys, not more than 10x, you know, so we don't want to get liquidated here. So then Link also bounced off that channel, as I mentioned on the daily chart. Also, I told you when we come back here to the bottom, good moment to enter, or at $10, what was it? Actually, $10.68 was, I think, the other level that I said. So we are getting close here. We're getting close here. Then Coty above 8 cents. I told you guys, above golden ratio, when we are breaking here this trend line, time to enter. So you could be up here already like 4% if you would have listened to me. Now, if you missed that, no problem. Wait for this downward sloping trend line to break. And this will bring us back to the at least 13 cents, 14 cents level, in my opinion, because also here we have a W pattern that's playing out that will at least bring us to 13 cents, in my opinion. And also the indicators are all in alignment for a bigger push on Coty here with MACD putting in a buy signal, stochastic RSI spiking, and also don't forget we have still this bullish divergence going on that's going to play out when we break here 8 cents and 4. Then the next one, Phantom. I told you guys, you missed here already 12%, I think, maybe more, 14% from where I called it. I called it from here, from down here, 14%. So I told you guys yesterday you could prematurely enter, and you missed between yesterday and today 14% already if you did not listen. And otherwise, I told you enter when we are breaking above the 40 cent level, because then we break above the 50 moving average and then trade this. So this is another 10% that you potentially have missed out here. You're still not too late to enter this, but go into lower time frames, especially the 1 hour. Wait at the stochastic bottoms here on the 1 hour, regardless where the price is, and enter when it bottoms. That is just a small advice how I trade things like this, because also here is a W pattern in progress currently. Not a beautiful one, but it's still one here. Target somewhere here in the 70 cent area. So again, you're not too late to enter this. If you want to play this super safe, wait for a break of 48 cents, but you will miss another like 9% move until this is happening. So why should you do that? Just wait maybe 2-3 hours that the 1 hourly chart is pulling back and has bottomed on a stochastic, and then you can enter this like at 43, 42.5, something like this, and then trade this here into the 70 cent mark, which will give you some juicy profits. Then near breaking to the upside, slightly above our entry level here currently on the 4 hourly chart. On the daily chart, we're just start to get going here. Also, the MACD about to print a buy signal today. Here's so much more momentum available to go to the upside. We just broke this downward sloping trend line. So here expect a move close to $5 pretty soon. You're also not too late to enter this trade here. Then Telegram is ripping right now. Can I show you my trade? Yes, I can. Wow, crazy. Because I made a trade yesterday on Telegram. I'm gonna show it to you guys. So here, I'm up over $500 right now on this trade. And again, I told you guys also on Telegram, I told you I believe this is the bottom. I don't believe that we will come any lower. and then we are on the way to make a golden cross here on the 1 hourly chart, so which we are pretty close, and that we are from here only going back to the upside. So if I go here into the 4 hourly chart, see a massive pump now. I expect the next candle will most likely pull back a little bit, but on the daily chart, also we're just getting started, you know. So we are just getting started. Here, I expect at least a move to $6 to retest the 200 moving average before we see any major downside consolidation, and then potential retest and break the 200 moving average. So here also, you missed out potentially on already. This is almost a 10% move since I called it. So now, new trades for you guys. On Uniswap. Uniswap, we are also breaking right now the downward sloping trend line on the daily chart. Here, once we are breaking $6.71 and close a daily candle above that, it could be today, that would be the moment where I would enter into Uni. And the first target for me would be $12. Nothing short of $12, which would give you $12, almost 80% to the upside. And trust me, this will happen quick. Uniswap is a coin that can move really quick here. This can happen in a matter of a week or two that we are hitting this level. So because for some reason, it's really uncanny over the last couple of months how Uniswap moved here. Look here. We kind of made this move here within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, a little bit less than 2 weeks where we got that kind of move. So that's why I'm telling you, right now is a good moment to enter into Uni when we are breaking above $6.71 and trade this into the $12 zone. And there you can take profit, set your stop loss slightly below $12 here to like $11.30 and trade this higher if you want. But I would take mass profits around the $12 mark and only leave a moon back for continuation to the upside. And guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you with more money. I will have more money tomorrow.